Besides this amazing weather, here's another reason why where I'm at is better than sitting behind the anchor desk. Both candidates are the only ones running for Caddo Parish School Board District 7. Some would say this has been long overdue, and bettors can now download 6 sports wagering apps starting Friday. 12,000 Shreveport residents have applied for the program, but only 110 families will be selected. The removal of the monument is an ongoing process. Contractors have until December 31st to complete the removal and relocation to DeSoto Parish. Jewelry, Christmas decorations, and so much more. Some items are even handmade. Waiting for them to flip the switch for the lighting ceremony, so I'm going to step aside. Now the DOTD says the damages could have possibly happened late last year and encourages anyone who knows about the accident to speak up. The Jimmy Davis Bridge shut down temporarily due to some inspections and minor fixes, but with the federal program, we might be seeing some more renovations in the near future. Antibody therapy is being administered to COVID-positive patients in hopes of keeping them out of the hospital. 9 carjacking incidents, 8 are believed to involve the same carjackers. Shreveport police are encouraging the community to be aware of their surroundings. In a matter of 4 days, there have been 9 carjacking incidents, and some are just minutes apart. Shreveport police say most of these incidents are being done by the same 3 individuals.
They try to shroud their faces for the most part.
Just this Thursday morning, there were 3 carjacking incidents alone. Police believe the one on Irvin Place may be unrelated to the string of carjackings, though they won't completely rule it out.
Older black male took a Chevy Equinox. That Chevy Equinox was recovered and that black male was arrested. Wilhite says the carjackers are all armed, carrying AR-type pistols. That is a handgun that shoots a rifle caliber cartridge. Very dangerous weapon.
Wilhite says it is important to be aware of your surroundings.
We've seen them follow vehicles into parking lots. We've seen them crouch beside vehicles in parking lots. We encourage people look before you enter a parking lot, look all around. You'll know, you get those gut feelings about things that aren't right.
She also says carjackers are committing this type of crime for a reason.
There has to be something that they're wanting to gain out of it. We don't yet know what that is. We will find out when we catch them, and we will catch them.
18-year-old Tyler Poland wants to make a difference in his hometown of Shreveport, so he applied to the Future Leaders of Shreveport Summer Internship Program, working with the IT department.
I enjoy it. Every day I come in here, I'm always learning.
He's part of the team building the city street cameras for the Real-Time Crime Center.
Seeing them drill through metal and caulk it back up and do water tests and make sure the electricity is all working inside the internals, and when there's something broke, they open it back up and they fix it and they get it prepped again.
Then the IT software intern takes it from there.
And I download all the software that it needs, update it, install it, do all the things I need to. After that, I seal it up, let it run for a little while, test it out, and after a while, I'll be able to access it from our database map, and I can see the cameras from any of the current nodes that are up and running.
Keith Hansen is the Chief Technology Officer for the city of Shreveport. He says most of these cameras were ready to go, but they had some cables hanging outside of them and needed further testing.
Starting out from nothing to getting to the point where they've retrofitted almost 80 cameras so far and have only like 10 left.
I'm glad I was given the opportunity to lead these young IT professionals in the beginning of their career, and I see a bright future for them and a bright future for Shreveport as a whole.
These interns could not be more proud.
I made all the software for it, I ran it, I tested it, I did everything that went into putting this node up on this pole and making Shreveport safer.
I just hope that I can do my job so that, I can help the community out.
We sitting outside or whatever like that. After sitting outside, we hear shots just ring.
Dunk, 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 dunk. It was like 13 shots.
Right outside the Shell station in the 5400 block of West 70th Street. Those 2 witnesses say they heard the shots in their apartment complex nearby.
We thinking it's in the apartment complex,
No, it was
then
dead loud.
We get on social media It's at the gas station.
It was a guy shot multiple times, sitting in his car, and he was already dead on the scene when I got here.
The victim, 31-year-old Jeremy Wyatt, was shot multiple times just after 11:30 p.m. If you take a look at this surveillance video, you'll see the shooter comes running into the parking lot, then runs back the opposite direction with a gun in his hand, and then starts firing.
I felt some type of way because it was somebody's life, and it could have been anybody else, and I'm glad that it wasn't one of the workers.
I am heartbroken by this decision, and I'm very disappointed by this decision.
After 4 days of testimony from 28 witnesses, all 4 Shreveport police officers charged in the death of Tommy McLaughlin are cleared.
We're all super happy. You know, this case should have never been prosecuted. These guys, all 4 of those officers, did their job the way they're trained.
That's not how the McLaughlin family sees it.
Not only have I lost my brother, but I've lost my sense of community. Those that are placed in a position to serve and protect, I no longer have trust in them at all.
For officers to be able to let a man die unresponsive in the back of the police car and walk away free and not being disciplined for it. So I just feel like it just set the bar higher for more corruption here in Shreveport.
McLaughlin, who was suffering a psychotic episode, died in the back seat of a Shreveport police vehicle after a struggle with the officers.
And this whole premise that he was left unattended for 45 minutes, which was the narrative not only throughout the state's prosecution, but through the media and social media, that was a false notion. That did not occur, and that's the shame of it. These officers were drugged through the mud for almost 2 years.
Of course, our hearts go out to Mr. McLaughlin's family. His death is tragic, but as Mr. Wells said in his opening statement, it was misplaced blame. These officers did not do anything wrong, and we're happy that they will be, or that they have been acquitted at this point.
Oh boy. Police.
Prosecutors argue the officers who had encountered McLaughlin previously in the day used excessive force and then failed to get him medical help, a combination of factors that led to his death.
None of the state's medical experts testified or could establish the cause of death, and they eliminated everything that the officers did. They eliminated the strikes to get him in compliance. They eliminated the use of baton. They eliminated even the positioning in the vehicle.
But the family's attorney says the fight isn't quite over yet.
We are going to continue to pursue this matter in the civil courts and seek justice. We are not giving up.
The Bossier City Animal Services typically can hold up to 100 animals, but they are currently holding a little over 200. Sherry Wood, the superintendent at Bossier City Animal Services, says because they're over capacity, they are unable to take in strays or those wanting to surrender their animals.
You know, we hate that we can't just bring them all in, but we have to have a place to house them, and if we don't, that means that somebody has to be euthanized to make that space.
And over at Caddo Parish Animal Services, just last month, they received an influx of animals.
A little over 500 animals come in a 30-day period, which is a lot for a shelter of this size.
There is a nationwide campaign called Clear the Shelters taking place in August. The goal is to encourage people to adopt from their local shelters to stop the overcrowding, which will then clear up space for stray animals comes winter.
And so if we don't make that space, we can't take those animals in. And so they may die of starvation on the street. They may freeze to death on the street.
To stop the overcrowding, both Caddo and Bossier make it extremely easy to adopt.
They can select an animal of their choice. That animal was spayed, neutered, vaccinated, and microchipped.
Euthanizing these animals is always the last resort.
It breaks our hearts every single time. It's never not hard. And obviously sometimes it's harder than others because we do build an attachment to these animals.
Onlookers tried to get a peek.
My grandfather used to bring me down here and tell me my history.
Over the fence at the Caddo Parish Courthouse, waiting for a piece of history to be relocated.
It is part of the U.S. history. It is what we learned in school. I don't see the racial part of it. I just see like the war part of it.
Crews prepared to move the Confederate monument to its new home, the Pleasant Hill battlefield in DeSoto Parish. While some are happy to see this day come, others are concerned.
Slavery isn't a thing anymore, you know, and if we don't have that, they can make it seem like it never happened. These problems never existed, but they did.
The monument has been around since 1905, where a courthouse once served as the state capitol during the Civil War.
Yeah, it's a crying shame. I want to be in tears. Makes me mad? Yes, it does.
No word yet on what, if anything, will replace the monument.
I hope they put something that would represent our city right there, something that everyone would like to see and enjoy.
Mackenzie Rivers swims with her dad here at the YMCA in Shreveport, and she loves it.
I like kicking my legs.
She's 5 years old and has been swimming with her dad, Levy Rivers, for the last 8 months.
At an early age, she gets to learn and get acclimated to the water, learns how to trust herself in the water, learns how to maneuver her body.
While swimming can be fun, it can also present a danger to small children, even those who are strong swimmers.
Please don't leave your children unattended. Even if they know how to swim, things can happen, accidents can happen.
Recent data shows in 2019, 15 children in Louisiana died due to drowning and 24 in 2020.
If you think about it, it's like a kindergarten class full of kids that drown.
Raymond Lee, the executive director at the YMCA, says that's why it is important parents learn how to swim.
Parents don't know how to swim, so they don't teach their children how to swim. It's not a priority. The sooner you get your child acclimated, the sooner you teach your child how to be safe around water, the better.
Showing her that she can trust her ability to float first, 2, how to move her arms, and then 3, how to use her legs, and then 4, how to do all of that at the same time. Do you like moving your arms?
Yes.